changed. Climate change is in existence. So unlike the previous years, June has not actually produced a higher frequency when it comes to rainy days. Because if I'm to get my records right, as of yesterday, we've recorded about 9 rainy days in the month of June, which is highly unlikely because looking at previous years, June could produce about 20 to 23 rainy days out of the 30 days. So looking at situations regarding that of Friday and then Saturday, I think these are flats. And then it's the usual thing we've been experiencing, except that anthropogenic situations have changed. So I think we are still within the boundaries of the rainy season, similar to the fact that June is producing and then giving it a utmost best when it comes to this rain. So,
if I listen to you carefully,
nothing has really changed with regards to the month of June, except that rainy days and climate change have actually affected some situations in the atmosphere. Yeah.
Kwame, is it to suggest that we would have longer rains even into the month of July? Instead of, let's say, the rains ending by 1st or 2nd week of July, it might go to the 3rd or 4th week of July. Is that what is likely to happen?
Yes, David, climatologically, and looking at how situations are faring, I did quite a small research as of last week, and I realized due to the fact that June wasn't able to produce a higher amount, or let me say higher frequency of rainy days, I think it's until recently that June is going to elapse, and then we are seeing higher signs of downpour. So there's a high probability that it will extend to the 3rd week of July, because backtracking to previous years, in the middle sector, especially Ashanti region and Kumasi, we realize that 2nd week of July is when we see the rain subsiding in Kumasi. So you see very few or little rainy patterns, or let me say fewer rains compared to the previous, which actually gives heavier ones. So you'll be seeing these few slight rains to be precise. Yeah. So it will extend to the 3rd week of July.
I hear you. Tell me this, Kwame. Tell me this. You are able to read the pattern as to whether we're going to have heavy rains or otherwise. Do people in higher positions, our authorities, do they fall on you to ascertain from you the kind of rain pattern or rain volumes we're going to have and plan accordingly? Do they come to you and ask questions? Do contractors come to you and ask questions as to what we should be expecting?
Yeah, David, for NADMO, I mentioned that NADMO is our first point of call when it comes to these issues. And also we release quarterly seasonal forecast. Aside the annual seasonal forecast, regularly we release the quarter seasonal forecast, and then these information are given to stakeholders, NADMO, the Ministry of Agriculture, and any other stakeholders that seem to be interested in this data or information. So yes, aside the fact that they reach out to us, we also reach out to them and then just.
But from where you sit, do you think they make use of the information you give them?
That is the question. For NADMO, I can attest to it that NADMO obviously and definitely they make use. But for other stakeholders, and then for Ministry of Food and Agriculture, I know they make use of these relevant data. But for any other stakeholder, let's say EPA, I can't speak for EPA unless they are supposed to answer these questions as to whether they make use of this information. Because we make it available to them every night and then with seasonal weather warnings for NADMO. Anytime there's a weather warning, NADMO is aware, we send it through their mails, and whatever means they are supposed to get it to make informed decisions on flood-prone areas.
Well, I ask this because it surprises me when you realize that even around the rainy season, some contractors want to fix bridges. Some contractors want to, expand what do you call it, storm drains. It beats my mind that why couldn't they work with you, get the right information, and apply it accordingly?
Yes, David. Recently, this case of Atapa, I think the contractor came to my office seeking for relevant information to, excavate So I think I gave him the necessary information, and I don't know whether it's proximity, whether it's timing, whether it's money-wise. That is why they are always in a haste. Because normally I always advise that in the rainy season, it is not always advisable to be constructing roads, except for the fact that maybe you need these rains or you need these downpours to make decisions on the kind of drains or let me say bridges you want to construct. Yes, we give this information. Yes, we see them being in a haste. I mean, do whatever is expected of them. But normally, these things should be done in the dry season. So when they come to me, I always advise that, look, the month of June is not a it cannot be trusted when it comes to giving out some period of dryness for you to do whatever is expected of you, because we are in the monsoon rains. Each and every now and then we could have some localized development, and then you have rain. Yes, you see them doing whatever. I don't know whether they have other expertise when it comes to these meteorological phenomena, because I normally advise that it's not advisable.
So Kwame, I mean, my last question to you is this: from every indication, we're supposed to expect more rains. Give us 3 key advice that can help us stay alive.
Thank you, David. I think this advice boils down to the fact that we human beings, I don't know why we underestimate water. One question I always ask, and layman question I always ask, that if a ship could actually sit on water, how much more you, the human being? Let me make reference to this Atapua case where someone anticipated that, oh, okay, I could actually pass through this stream or let me say waterway, and then he got carried away. So one thing I would advise is that we should stay away from streams and rivers if there's even an iota of rain causing flooding. In spite of the fact that you even know the route, stay away. And my advice always goes to the children, the parents and children. You know, even these recent happenings are even in relation to adults. So parents, when there's any downpour, and then let's say the school has no closed, even if the school has closed, you advise the teachers to advise that the people will stay away until there's this subsidence of these drains, or let me say this stream, before, so that you see the passenger before you can actually cross. Because these are flash floods. The torrents to which these currents, or let me say these streams are moving, are quite higher. You can't see with your eyes. Perhaps there is something you can't see the waterway. Perhaps there's even a gutter down there. You could actually step in it, get confused, and then before you realize you're carried away.
So Kwame, give me one more. Give me one more very quickly, Kwame.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kwame, as well. Kwame Ofori Agyemang is a meteorological officer, and he joined us. More rains to come. Even